We are live from Bedford. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. Souhegan and Derryfield going at it indoors tonight. Well, we get a mixture of rain, snow, and cold temperatures outside. The good folks here at the Sportsplex, the New Hampshire Sportsplex, have opened the doors for these two teams and for us here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire as well, getting you set for an upcoming battle between two of the state's better teams. Nick and Astis, new partner Roger Howe here on the sideline. Roger, welcome inside.
Thank you, Nick.
The broadcast. Glad to have you aboard here.
Glad to be here.
What a great matchup to get your feet wet here. Two of the better teams in the state. Souhegan, of course, expected to be in the Division I mix, and Derryfield, the team to beat, it seems, in D2.
Indeed. It's been a while, but the talent of these two teams hasn't seemed to have waned at all since I was last in the circle. Of course, Souhegan is still in Division I, and they have been, I believe, they're ranked number 7 preseason in Division I right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we got two strong teams out there. This should be exciting. It's still early in the season. A lot of these teams are just feeling it out, but it'll be interesting to see what these two teams can do. I know Coach Bertrand, he's been at Souhegan for several years now, and of course, Coach Hetler, he's been around for ages at Derryfield, as long as I've known him, it'll be exciting. I haven't seen a D1, D2 matchup in a long time.
Right. Not that's supposed to be as competitive as what we expect to see tonight. Of course, both teams kicked off the regular season earlier this week. Derryfield, no problem with Manchester Central, while Souhegan took care of business against Keene 15-2. So both teams coming in at 1-0, and you mentioned both teams really with stable figures at the top of the program. Chris Hetler, as you mentioned, a longtime Derryfield head coach. Of course, going into last season, the Cougars had won 3 championships in a row at the D2 level.
Yes, indeed.
Obviously, no season was played last year due to the COVID-19 lockdown. But this 2021 Derryfield group seems to have a lot of talent, a lot of seniors, and, of course, the stabilizing factor on the sideline is always going to be Coach Hetler.
Yes, indeed. I talked to Coach Hetler a little bit today, and getting back into the loop on things with the teams in New Hampshire high school lacrosse. I couldn't help but notice the lack of juniors. A lot of these teams that I'm seeing out there, no matter what the division is, we're seeing some senior heavy teams, and then 1 or 2 juniors out there. And then in the case of Derryfield, they've got a tremendous amount of freshmen out there today. In fact, they have a starting attackman that's a freshman tonight. I don't know what that's attributed to. I know when the youth program that I coached in for many, many years, we always seem to have that wave and gap of the 7th and 8th grade U15 groups. One year we were very strong, and the next year we seem to scramble for players.
Comes and goes in cycles, sure.
Indeed, and I think that's what we're seeing a little bit here. That's where Coach Hetler and Coach Bertrand and others, Coach K Cameron, they can take these players nice and young, get them on the roster, work with them, get their game to go to another level, playing with a much higher talent, which we obviously see out there in those teams for sure, and it's encouraging to see.
Well, again, this game originally slated to be played outdoors at Derryfield in northern Manchester, but the weather really statewide having other ideas, a sort of strange, ill-timed mid-April snow shower. Parts of the state expected to get 4 or 5 inches. We've got an inch maybe or two outside right now, but
glad it stopped when it did on a Friday, because it'll all melt by Monday, and we'll be off to a good start next week with a couple of heavy schedules.
But again, that sent the powers that be scrambling a bit. Coach Hetler, who is also, of course, the Derryfield School athletic director, doing a great job spearheading the reassignment. And here we are, nice and dry, nice and warm.
Indeed.
Inside. A little different broadcasting angle for us here. We're going to get you right down and into the fray. We are live at midfield, right on ground level, right on the sidelines. Indeed. Not a lot of room to spare. So.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick, I feel at home. I hate to tell you, but I know from a broadcast sense it's a little different. But having coached for 17 years and being at this angle for so long with so many thousands of games that I coached, this is fine. I feel fine.
Well, I'm going to lean on you then. Yeah, we've got about 3 or so minutes until the top of the hour when this one is slated to get underway. Souhegan on the other side here under Coach Bertrand, and you touched on it a little bit, perhaps not quite as deep as we've seen some of these Sabre teams in the past, but they still have got some guys that can really make a difference and really go hard for Coach Bertrand. And I suppose it would start with senior attackman Riley Longhorn, who is a familiar name, as we know, and he's headed to UMass Lowell to take his game to the next level. So Longhorn, and then, there's others that could be a quote-unquote problem tonight for the Cougars as we get a look there at Souhegan in their final pregame meeting.
Indeed. Yeah, Riley's going to UMass Lowell. A lot of New Hampshire talent at UMass Lowell right now, and he'll certainly fit in there well. So we'll see how he can perform tonight. I know Souhegan is also dealing with a number of injuries on the varsity squad today, too.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Coach Bertrand's team can take it up a notch.
Yeah, there's 5 injuries listed here on our sheet.
Yeah, all varsity players, too.
On Souhegan side of the ledger, so shorthanded effort tonight as Souhegan looks to improve to 2-0 on the young season. Widely regarded tonight as the underdog to Derryfield. Well, limited crowd indoors here tonight. There are a few late arriving spectators, and they're all at field level. So this will be interesting for sure. Souhegan, again, slated as the road team in their road black and whites tonight. All right, let's step aside. When we come back, game time. We'll get you the starters and then the opening face-off. Souhegan and Derryfield in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
All right, back here at the New Hampshire Sportsplex. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week between Souhegan and Derryfield. Both teams trying to improve to 2-0 in this young season. Indoors tonight due to weather. Souhegan getting ready to square off as they send their talented face-off man to the middle of the field. That's Zach Bartlett. Just a sophomore. Going to go up against the talented Kyle Carpentier, the senior midfielder. Well, Derryfield going to work right to left in this first quarter. Souhegan will counter left to right. Sabres in the road blacks, Cougars in the home whites with the maroon lettering and silver trim.
Interesting, Nick. No long stick on the face-off for Derryfield.
You expected that?
I did. I really did. I'm trying to figure out what he's going to do here, but he's certainly got his first-line middies out there on the wings, looking to go right at Souhegan on offense, apparently.
Meanwhile, an apparent goal equipment malfunction has been taken care of. Jimmy Astorita, who is the head man in charge down here, including the gatekeeper fixer. All right, underway here. And Souhegan is going to get the first crack as the ball scooped up off the turf. And we are underway. Souhegan trying to get the defense to move across the zone. The pass is broken up, but recovered here on the near side wing. And the Sabres going to pull it back out and take a breath here. Connor Holland, one of the midfielders. The foreground here on the wing. You can hear Coach Hetler across the field trying to direct the defense. One-on-one move to the near side pull. Going to pull up a little short. Work it far side. Spin move, broken up. Ground ball going to bounce back to midfield. And finally, Derryfield going to pick it up and go. Right to left, this is Chaz Dean, one of the veterans, one of the seniors. And now the original face-off man, Kyle Carpentier, will trigger things here. First trip for Derryfield, minute gone by. Cougars trying to strike first. From behind the cage. Back to the net, now going to face, now going to drive, now going to fire, and now going to score. Well, a patient development, and then the quick strike is going to work for Derryfield as Ryan Izzo, senior attackman, able to score from pretty close up there, Roger, and put Souhegan in a hole here, 1-0.
Yeah, Ryan, he just worked the defender down low there, and he was all by himself and just anticipated the slide coming, and he found his spot. He didn't have a lot of help from the defense there, so good for Ryan. Ryan's the last of three brothers that's come out of Bedford and have played for Coach Hetler here.
Yeah, that's a familiar name for sure. And pretty patient move there. Took advantage. Meanwhile, Souhegan, 2 for 2 at the X to begin the game. They're going to come down on their second trip, trailing 1-0 here with a minute and a half gone by. Back up top, this is Anthony Grant. Derryfield going to give him a little bit of space here, it looks like, on the perimeter. Work it behind the cage. And again, back near wing here. Neither team looking to force anything, it seems like, Roger, as both Teams have been patient through the first 2 minutes.
Indeed. Both teams have started out in 3-3 as well, and then they're kind of morphing and feeling out the defense as it comes to them, which is really what you want to see this early in the game. See what the defense can do, press out on you. Not much dodging going on here either. They're just playing a perimeter game. Very patient. Nothing wrong with that. No shot clock.
There's a shot fake.
Yeah.
It won't happen. We'll pull it back out. There's Riley Longhorn again, the guy to watch here in black for Souhegan. Backdoor, good feed. The low shot's going to go wide.
Really good feed.
It will stay, though, at this backdoor pass there.
And a good pick out top there to open up the inside.
Again, Sabres pull it out. Longhorn, also a standout player on the football team, trying to work his way far side, eluding a double team. Good pass across the zone, and there's the shot and score.
Beautiful.
That was very nice as Christopher Whedon able to capitalize. The junior midi ties the game at 1 here early.
Yeah, Lawhorn pulled the defender out on the rim, and you don't see this very often, but he got a great skip pass through the box and found the attackman, Whedon, right there.
So Christopher Whedon, who let that go with a little bit of twang. Derryfield trying to come back with a win at the face-off X for the first time. That ball, though, elusive as it gets away from Carpentier. Dean, though, going to get to it here at midfield and finally allow the Cougars to get set up. 1-1 here in the early going. That clock, I'm not sure if it's right. It was frozen there for a moment at about the 10:30 mark, but we'll have to see how much of a difference there is between the officials.
Derry's in an invert right now with the midi behind.
Near side. Trying to make a move. Good defense again. Going to force Dean out. Now Dean with the step on the run. Going to fire and score. That's Chaz Dean.
That was
been a big part of the program for a long time, and Dean got the momentum he needed there, Roger. Got the step.
He got the step, and he got his arms extended in the alley, and he had a very, very late slide by Souhegan. By the time the defender got out there on Dean, the shot was already in the air. Yeah, they isolated him up at top, expecting him to make a dodge there, and they cleared out for him very well.
So we get another rematch here at midfield between Carpentier and Bartlett. Bartlett has won 2 of the previous 3, but Carpentier is going to come away with this one, his second straight win. Face-offs 2-2 here early on. Well, both coaches very vocal on the sidelines. That's their style.
Good check.
Meanwhile, Dean ran into trouble. It was Whedon who poked it loose, and now Whedon takes over for the Sabres at midfield. Longhorn looking middle. Has a man, but the pass dropped. A little bit of a hit there amongst the reception as well. It's still loose. Now finally pulled away by Whedon. So he can do a good job getting to a couple of ground balls here. The early part of this first period. It's a shot and a score. Tough angle. Defender in his face, didn't matter. That's Anthony Garant. And Garant, the junior, has tied the game here at 2.
There was a little bit of confusion on defense there as to who had who down at the lower end of this. I saw it kind of develop a little bit, and then all of a sudden Garant just steps in and gives a very nice low bullet shot.
Impressive. Pretty well covered as well, but it didn't matter. He got it off and in.
Indeed.
2-2 violation here. Going to hand it over to the Cougars.
Well, it looks like we're going to see Derryfield's second line here on midfield.
Coach Heather going to the bench early.
Carpentier has been pulled after that faceoff.
Trying to get the step here is the freshman attackman, Chilton Cabot. We mentioned him, Roger, pregame. Freshman able to crack the varsity starting lineup. Pretty impressive.
Yes.
He's unattended to at the moment on the weak side. Meanwhile, the cutter couldn't quite handle it along the near pole. That ball loose in the crease. There's Cabot. 22 in white. He's knocked to the ground. Still loose. And I think that's the long stick who came away with it at one point for Souhegan. Now on the move. Foot race, far sideline.
Pushed out of bounds.
And he's pushed out of bounds, yep.
Boy, Souhegan has been very good on ground balls tonight.
Yeah, they've had the advantage here early on. That was, by the way, Connor Holland, the senior for Souhegan, who stepped out. So Derryfield, a chance to retake the lead as we near the midway point, first quarter. Game tied early on here at 2.
So Quinn Silvio is back out there for Carpentier on that first line.
Stutter step.
Okay, good defense.
Fine, yeah. Right on him.
Oh, good rep.
Quick shot and score. That's how it's done. That's Dean's second. Well, perhaps a little too much room there given for Dean.
Yeah, kind of a mirror play of what we just saw on the Souhegan goal, where the skip came across and left the far side midi wide open. Can't leave a guy like Dean that much open.
His second already.
Yeah.
And again, Derryfield leapfrogging back out in front 3-2. We've had leads of 1-0 and 2-1.
Nice seeing that offense being split up between the middies and the attackmen.
And while Souhegan needed to win at the X, they'll get one there. They had lost the previous 3 straight.
Yeah, I see that Coach Hetler finally put a long pole out there on the face-off, Nick, number 40.
Yeah, we were calling for that. You were calling for that earlier. Of course, that's Souhegan face-off man, Zach Bartlett.
Yeah, I think, the prowess of Souhegan on ground balls is causing him to put that pole out there. Can't afford to lose him on the face-off.
Lawhorn showing the footwork. Denied, though, at the doorstep. And the goaltender out of the cage to scoop it up. That's a great play. That's Jackson Snyder, the goaltender for Derryfield. Meanwhile, loose at midfield.
Souhegan needs to slow it down here.
Yeah, gonna come up with another ground ball. They look backdoor. A quick shot goes low. And a foot race is going to give this back to the Cougars.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them slow it down just then. They were bringing guys through the box on the far side. Didn't have a backup either.
Quan, pretty good shot, but you're right, nobody there on the weak side. So the Cougars capitalize. We hit the midway point. First quarter, Derryfield trying to open up this thing here a little bit. They're up 3-2. Looking for their first 2-goal advantage of the game. On the move.
Good slide.
Spin to his left. Shot going to be denied.
I think that went off the post.
Did it?
Yeah, I think it did.
Nathan Fritz, the goaltender. Got a pretty good look at it. Again, shot ended up wide. It will stay, though, with Derryfield.
Got another freshman in there on attack, Nick. Number 14, Alexander Murray.
Meanwhile, a little confusion leads to a turnover. Fritz's outlet taken by one of the long stick on the far side. Trying to avoid the pressure. Reverse and go right back up the far sidelines. Good play.
Good play.
Go to the 5-minute mark. Souhegan back on the march, hoping to tie the game at 3.
He's loose.
Freed up.
He's loose.
Near side. Good stop. Schneider able to cover up on the near pole. Foot race in the corner. We'll keep it at this end. Souhegan quickly restarts. Now they'll slow it down at the top with Holland. Well, both goaltenders tested here in the early going. Both seem to be warming up, so to speak, as well. Meanwhile, some contact here. Holland trying to grind his way into a shot that goes wide.
Actually, pretty good defense there on size limits between him and his defender.
Physical brand of lacrosse there defensively. It's Quinn Silvio, one of the midfielders. Meanwhile, a whistle is going to go against Souhegan. A rare first quarter whistle turned over to the Cougars.
Yeah, it's been a pretty clean game.
No penalties yet. Coming up on 4 minutes. A little bit of a ride, token pressure, no problem for Izzo, who scored the game's first goal. He's going to pull it out here. Give it a little room of separation. Josh Dubois on him. Meanwhile, this one.
Errant pass.
Yep. And turned over to Souhegan. Back-to-back giveaways here as these two teams still trying to get their feet under him here at the 4-minute mark, first quarter. Goaltender going to take a jog. Fritz looking.
Derryfield's in a drop zone, what we call a drop zone with the attack. They're coming all the way back and splitting the field into thirds. Kind of building a wall there, and it's almost worked there.
Gave the Sabres some pause at least.
Indeed. Had to figure it out.
This is Grant in no apparent hurry. Given room by Liam Hill, who has come off the Derryfield bench. Oh, you got a drop here and a takeaway.
Can't do that.
Derryfield trying to capitalize on the mistake. Izzo pumps the brakes, fires a pass middle that's off target. Gets away from the intended receiver and goes out of play. Well, tough pass there under pressure. Trying to come back to the near side for Colby Muse. And Muse could not quite reel it in, so it's back to Souhegan.
That drop right again.
Finally, it's Longhorn who gets it across.
It's really the only way you're going to get that ball over is to go cross field.
Inside of 3 minutes. Souhegan again trying to tie this game at 3.
Nope, another errant pass.
Yeah, meanwhile, the mistakes starting to pile up for both these teams over the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, you'd almost expect this in an outdoor game with the rain or something like that, but it's kind of falling apart here.
Strong start.
Yeah.
Both attacks. As the combined 5 goals all came in the first 5 minutes, but nothing since. Inside of 3 minutes, first quarter. Again, Derryfield threatening to double their lead. Out in front here, 3-2. A little one-on-one in the corner. This is the freshman Cabot.
He wants a slowdown here.
Cabot
wants a change.
trying to get himself away from the long stick defender. It's Brady Melvin, one of the starters. Got about 6 inches on Cabot. Back to the top. On the run. Shot. Take a high bounce, far side, loose in the corner.
Great late bump there on defense by Grant.
Somebody thrown to the ground there. Scrum continues, and now Derryfield does equips. Near side, Cabot, tough angle shot. It's out of play, and then a good play by Fritz after the stop to chase it down and get the possession for Souhegan. Now Fritz starting to look good in the cage, as is this Souhegan defense playing a little more cohesive. They handle the ride. Lawhorn, great dodge, shot, ends up wide. It'll stay with the Sabres. Final 2 minutes, first quarter. This is Holland. He's handled it a lot in this opening quarter. Going to take a jog to behind the cage.
Bring a shorty behind Nick.
Looking for a screen. Comes near
Good
side.
Switch.
Yep. Picked up off the switch.
Oh, nice play.
Quick move, yep.
Nice play.
That's Holland making it happen and tying the game at 3 with 102 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Now Holland, all he did was he just backed in, got over goal line extended.
Look at that over the shoulder, beautiful.
Over the shoulder. Just found his spot.
He's looked good here so far. That is his first goal. And it comes with 1:42 to go in this opening quarter. So Connor Holland, the senior, who has used his body here, Roger, early on to get his way more often than not.
He sure has.
Including on that last goal.
Sure has, both offensively and defensively.
Souhegan, meanwhile, has had the advantage at the X as well as they win Another face-off here. Chris Whedon comes up with it, avoids the hit at midfield. And now Souhegan back on the attack here for the final 90 seconds. Trying to end the first quarter on a high note, looking for their first lead here.
If I'm Coach Bertrand, I'm just going to slow the pace down, find our spot.
No hurry, as we know. Whedon. Derryfield giving a little bit of space here as well. Now going to press out a little bit. Pass up top. Longhorn steps in, shot, and score. Well, it was slowed down initially by the goaltender Snyder, but that ball kept rolling. It rolls across the line and into the net. And suddenly, Souhegan playing out in front with their first lead, 4-3.
This is what happens when you play slow down lacrosse sometimes and you just play a perimeter game. You find your spot, you're patient, and then all of a sudden you've got a defender that just falls asleep just for a split second. That gave Lawhorn just enough steps to get open, and the goalie really had no chance. It was just one-on-one at that point.
So Riley Longhorn on his way to UMass Lowell. Longhorn, his first goal, comes inside of a minute. And now Derryfield, for the first time, playing from behind. To the middle. Nowhere to go. Cut off. This is Cole Giersch. Giersch had it for a split second. Giersch goes flying. And, Roger, you called it. It's a push. It'll stay with the Cougars. 33 seconds.
Try to keep my coaching out of your broadcasting.
Well, if you're a second or so ahead of the officials, that's fine with me. Final 25. Here's Dean. Dean going around Holland. Shot knocked down by Fritz. Loose on the far side. Scrum behind the cage. Tick, tick, tick. 15 and counting. And the big goaltender comes away with it. Bullet pass goes a little long. Scooped up, though, at midfield with 7 seconds. So he can try for one more. And well, that was Brady Crow who went flying into the Derryfield bench. Cougars given one more shot here. It goes the length of the field and out of play. And I believe, yep, that's going to do it for the first quarter. Souhegan trailed most of the frame, but 2 goals in the final 100 seconds. Put the Sabres out in front after 1 by a score of 4-3. Right back to the Sportsplex in a moment. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Souhegan a 4-3 lead after 1 here at the New Hampshire Sportsplex in Bedford. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Well, Souhegan, after playing from behind for most of that quarter, had a good finish to the quarter, Roger, and we can see that. Now, if anyone thought Derryfield was going to come in here and come away with an easy win, that is not going to happen.
No, it's not, and I noticed 2 things. Coach Hetler, he was moving a few more bodies in and out than I saw Coach Bertrand do, which is good to see this early in the season. But the biggest thing for Souhegan being one up at this point is the fact that they definitely won the ground ball war out there, and their patience on offense. Derryfield wants to run a little bit, and Souhegan is certainly their game plan, at least by the start of this game was, hold the ball, feel out the defense, find your spots, work one-on-one where you can, and take the opportunity.
Yeah, they've been patient. They've, for the most part, taken care of the ball. And as you mentioned, the ground balls, it seems like, has been distinctly to Souhegan's advantage. They also won, by my count, 4 of the 7 faceoffs in that first quarter.
Yeah.
This man, a big reason why he's trying to get dirty.
Lawhorn.
It's Zach Barrett, and it's Lawhorn who ultimately comes away with it for Souhegan. So another win for Bartlett and the Sabres at the X.
So critical, so critical.
After switching sides, Souhegan trying to operate right to left. Getting the step for a moment was Alex Karpowicz, who was quiet in that first quarter, but he's a name we'll, I'm sure, hear from again before the night is done. Meanwhile, Lawhorn, who had a goal of his own.
Ooh.
Nice pass, back door, and then a
Beautiful
denial.
Snyder.
Snyder right there anticipated it and then broke it up right at the doorstep for the save.
Beautiful pass by Lawhorn,
It
too.
really was.
He had nothing there, and he found him.
Yeah, and you can see Brady Crow, the recipient of that pass, a little disappointed that play did not result in a Souhegan goal. Instead, Derryfield a chance to tie with just about a minute gone by in this second quarter.
Yeah, Snyder stood tall, too. He was right there.
Meanwhile, shot and score.
Good turn.
Paid the price afterwards. It's Ryan Itzo's second.
Yeah, that's
Senior attackman has tied the game at 4, and you can see here using the body, Roger, and then goes top shelf.
Yeah, I can hear my high school coach years and years ago saying, if he's going to score that close in on our goalie, he better be on the ground after the shot. And sure enough, that was the case here.
Right.
You don't see that very often without something being called these days, but it was good for Etzo. He's a tough player.
Etzo's second. He scored the game's opening goal, which initially put Derryfield in front 1-0. In fact, it's been tight the whole way. 1 goal difference. No matter how you slice it. Etzo put Derryfield up 1-0 about 90 seconds into the game. Didn't take long for Souhegan's Christopher Whedon to tie the score at 1 apiece. Chaz Dean put Derryfield back in front, first of his 2. Just a moment later, Anthony Garrett tied it at 2. So we had a combined 4 goals in the first 5 minutes of this one. Chaz Dean's second put Derryfield up 3-2 at about the midway point of that first quarter. And then the final 2 minutes belonged to Souhegan. Connor Holland and Riley Longhorn back-to-back gave the Sabres a 4-3 edge after 1. And then Ryan Etzo's second a moment ago has tied this game at 4. And then a hold on the face-off is going to give this right back to Derryfield.
I think we got a problem with the clock on the far side.
Yeah, the scoreboard is looking frozen. So we're trying to keep you updated as best we can. 4-4 here. Pass too high.
Another errant pass.
Yeah, in and out of the stick of the intended target. We've seen that a few times now, where the pass has gone errant and it's cost Derryfield. That time Alexander Murray couldn't come up with it. It does, however, let the Cougars set up the ride here.
It does, and they rode a little differently here. They did a press ride. They brought the center attackman down and pressed them hard this time. Didn't let them get up into the box.
Results in a ground ball that's still loose. It's up in the air. Where is it?
No possession. There it is.
Holland's got it for Souhegan. Far side, extra pass broken up. Try to bring it across the crease there.
Derry defender got it.
Yep. Good job by Crow to track it down for Souhegan, and now Coach Bertrand can be heard saying, let's set something up here as the Sabres look to retake the lead. This is Holland. He's been a physical presence for Souhegan. Trying to weave his way middle, sees a lane. That is denied, though.
Wow.
Snyder starting to come into a zone between the pipes for Derryfield. Several nice stops here in this second quarter, including that one there to deny Holland.
Oh, good check.
Meanwhile, good turnover. And then a timeout coming from the sideline. That's the long stick midi.
Been waiting for him.
Dugan Brewer Little.
Been waiting for him. Been waiting for him.
Yep. And Little able to poke it loose, and then off just one bounce ensured the possession. So a timeout comes. It gives us a chance to pause here with the game tied at 4. Reminder, coming up on Sunday, it's the season premiere of the FNLNH Lacrosse Show, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Will be on live at 9. And really be looking to bring you the latest on the lacrosse front, not just in the NHIAA, but at the college NCAA level as well. Boys and girls, we cover all the bases. It'll be this Sunday. We'll speak with Roger Sampson of Londonderry. Roger Howe, of course, has a green light to come down whenever you want, Roger. And also that stands for, obviously, Chris Cameron and Chris Hetler, both veterans of the show. Also Tuesday, we're going to be in Wyndham for Winnicott and Wyndham. Roger, that's 2 upcoming programs that really have carved out a niche for themselves over the last couple of years. We're going to see them in action on Tuesday. That's coming up with an early 4 o'clock start, 4 o'clock Eastern. We'll be on the air about 3:45.
Yeah, Winnicott's always been strong in Division II. Always had strong teams, fast teams. Of course, they took Derryfield, to the finals last year, 2019.
19, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But trying to pick up kind of where they left off. And then, of course, the biggest rivalry of all, BG and Pinkerton, we'll bring you that one Thursday from Derry. So busy week coming up, starting with the FNLNH Lacrosse Show, presented by the Tomahawks Sunday at 9. All right, out of the timeout.
Little different set here, too, Nick. They're going 2-2 instead of 3-3. So watch the slide in the middle here.
This is Dean, who has 2 goals for Derryfield already. Trying to find a little bit of space middle, not there.
Okay.
Tried to force a shot there, got jammed up. Stay, though, with Derryfield. Good job on the backside.
Yeah, the defense didn't overcommit there either. They didn't slide too...
that shot goes off the pole and eventually is picked up by the long stick defender on the far side. Cougars going to force a turnover.
That's going to be a flag.
And a hit was absorbed. There is a flag down on the far side. First penalty of the game on the way.
Shot and a score.
Shot and a score is right. Well, that's just Dean making a play there, it looked like, Roger. His third to lead all scorers. Puts Derryfield back in front 5-4.
And I think that's going to be a cross check to the head, which is going to stick. So Derryfield's going to go man up here. But good for Derryfield to take advantage of that. That's it's kind of a free play in lacrosse when you've got a flag down like that.
It seemed like the obvious penalty. We knew where it was coming.
Yeah.
Derryfield able to take advantage. They've scored both goals in this second quarter. And after trailing 4-3 after 1, now lead 5-4.
Yeah, we don't have a clock here to count down on the penalties,
no,
so we'll
have
to watch the box and see what happens with possession. Movement.
Yep, a little too early.
That's not what you want to see if you're Souhegan.
Well, Bartlett, the face-off man for Souhegan, had won more often than not in that first quarter, but since then things have gone Derryfield's way. By my count, 5-5 now.
Yeah, traditional box and one on Souhegan's defense here. See what they do when the ball goes behind.
Derryfield patient. Going to swing it.
Yeah, very patient.
Souhegan really packed in. Back near side. Thought about it.
Not a lot of movement by Derryfield here.
No, not at all. Now we get a little bit.
Yeah, good.
There's a back door, and there's the finish. Well, patience, the name of the game there. Itzo with his third. And Derryfield with the largest lead either way of 2 goals now at 6-4.
Well, one of the things I have always wondered on man-up offenses, we got a timeout here, looks like by Souhegan, Nick.
Derryfield with the momentum now. They've scored 3 straight.
Is why do you put an attackman behind or a midfielder behind when you're man up and go 5-5 and make it easy? But in this particular case, The defender just didn't cover down low on goal line extended, which allowed Dean to slip right through there. Or Etzo, I believe it was Etzo, right?
Etzo, yep.
Yeah, Etzo squeezed right through there, and he's just too good a player. You can't give him anything in that 3x3 down low, and defense just kind of fell asleep.
Etzo off to a good start, scored the game's first goal. 3 scores total. We mentioned his teammate Chaz Dean. The senior is 3 as well. Well, both of these teams, both of these programs, year in and year out, really, Roger, high expectations. Souhegan traditionally viewed, no matter what division they're in, as probably a Final Four team. I don't know if that's the case this year or not. And, of course, Derryfield, for years, were the team to beat in Division III. Now, the last decade or so, the team to beat in Division II. But I'm sure there's a certain amount of prestige that comes with that as a player, right? I mean, you're aware, I would imagine, as a student athlete, the traditions, the culture that comes around with the program. And in a lot of ways, I would imagine, especially after taking a year off last year, really an honor to suit up and kind of go to battle with your teammates and for these 2 head coaches.
Yeah, for sure. You can say that about maybe a handful of teams in New Hampshire, really, right. At this point, given the newness of lacrosse as an organized sport, NHIAA getting involved in 1994. Souhegan's always been a powerhouse. If you go back to the original championship game against Pinkerton, Division II, then Division I, and back again, them, BG, Pinkerton, premier programs out there year after year.
All right, out of the timeout, Souhegan looking for something at the X to turn this around. Instead, Derryfield, another quick one, another shot and a score. Well, there's a one-man wrecking crew. Kyle Carpentier, the senior midfielder. Didn't take him long there. Blink and you missed it. Comes streaking right down the middle.
Yeah, the Souhegan defense didn't even get into the rotation by the time Carpentier was ready to lock and load on that one.
It's Carpentier's first. He's given Derryfield now the advantage at the X with 6 wins of the 11. More importantly, he keeps the Cougar run going of now 4 unanswered in this second quarter. They've got their largest lead at 7-4. And a hold here is going to go against Carpentier. So Souhegan does get the break they were looking for.
And they need a good possession here, Nick.
They do.
They really do. They need to stop this momentum that Derryfield's built on.
Cougars, after trailing 4-3 after 1, have really begun to dominate here so far in the second.
Good poke.
Not going to happen against Dean. The physical midfielder poked it loose. It's still loose, and now it is scooped up on the near side. And we've got a whistle. And a timeout coming from Coach Hetler. Wanted to ensure the possession there. And does so here at about the midway point of this second quarter. That was defenseman Andrew Wald who ended up tiptoeing the sideline when that timeout occurred.
Yeah, Holland got his back turned to his teammates and thought he saw something, I think, out of the side of his eye. And he just got collapsed upon by the Derryfield team, and ball came out, and Derryfield was right there on the ground ball.
Well, again, Nick and Astis, Roger Howe with you from the New Hampshire Sportsplex in Bedford. Welcome, Roger, on the broadcast. We expect
Thank you.
Some good things from you, Roger, this season, of course. And, well, why don't you give the listeners, those who don't know, a little bit of your background. You were obviously involved for now decades, really at all levels of the New Hampshire lacrosse scene.
Was one of the original founders of Bedford Youth Lacrosse back in 1999, actually. Ran the program along with a number of other very, very good people. Jim Astorita, Chris Cameron, of course, was a part of the program back then. We built a really good program. We had over 400 kids at one point. At one point, we were the largest youth program in the state. Here we go.
Yep. Well, you can continue to talk. We've got that's the beauty of TV. We can watch and listen.
True.
And then you got involved, of course, at the high school level.
Yes.
As well.
Yes. Good save there. coached with Coach Gerard during the championship years. That's a pickup.
Yeah,
nice
that's
play.
Cabot. The freshman gets his first. Well, the goaltender looked like took a gamble there, Roger. Left the cage unaccompanied for a moment and lost the ball. And there's Johnny on the spot, Cabot, the freshman, to finish it off.
You know, it'll be interesting to watch Cabot now throughout the game. He got his first goal. I don't know if he scored in the game against Central the other day, but he's been kind of the Johnny behind the goal on a lot of the backups here, and it's good to see him get a pop here.
Well,
nope,
it's been all Derryfield here in this second quarter. Now 5 unanswered.
So
he's going to redo it here, it looks like.
Yeah. Referee Riley giving him a second chance here.
And again, it's Carpentier who comes away with it for Derryfield. Well, just to kind of finish up your story, Roger, again, you didn't mean to cut you off there on that last goal, but...
No, coached here in Bedford with Coach Gerard up until 2017. And I was blessed to have 2 boys in the program there, and both went on to play college lacrosse. So I resigned my duties there after 17 years of coaching in Bedford and hit the road with my sons. One was a starting goalie at Keene State for 3 out of his 4 years there, Matthew Howe, and then my son Brandon is now, who started at Endicott, and he's now at UNH in his senior year. So his season got called off, gave me an opportunity to get back on the field and, get my fix, as I call it.
Meanwhile, this pass across the zone ends up unaccompanied out of bounds and turned over to Souhegan. And, of course, now your son Matt is at the staff over at Bedford, right? The JV coach?
Yes, it's come full circle.
He really has.
He's working with Coach Johans Meyer over there, and he's the head JV coach, which is where I got my start at Bedford in 2010.
Like father, like son. And well, the big winner, of course, is us here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. We get to pick your brain here. Meanwhile, Souhegan, they have not scored in the second quarter. They led after 1, 4-3. Since then, Derryfield has rattled off 5 unanswered goals. Lawhorn.
They really
weave off the screen. That's a shot that's going to be denied by Snyder.
Great save.
Snyder has gotten better as the game has gone on. Going to walk this one out here.
I got to tell you, people don't realize how difficult it is to see the ball in this venue. White background, and it's very, very hard.
That's a good point.
I know that the owners here several years ago were debating perhaps putting different colors here to make it easier, but no, that's just not going to happen.
Meanwhile, Derryfield in no hurry with their largest lead on the board, threatening to expand that even more. Already doubling up the Sabres 8-4.
Nice and patient offense here, 3-3 again.
Yeah, we've seen the Sabres switch up the defensive looks back to where they started.
Shorty behind again, Nick. On an attackman.
Trying to come near side. Trying to probe. This is Izzo. Up top, quick shot, and a score.
Wow, he had it too.
Yeah, it looked like it was knocked down initially, but it rolls in. It's been the type of quarter for Souhegan's Nathan Fritz, the goaltender. Showing some flashes in this one and got a piece of that, it looked like. But in the end, it's going to work for Quinn Silvio, the sophomore midfielder. His first goal, and the Cougar party continues, now 6 unanswered by Derryfield.
I would love to talk to Fritz on that goal because I know he saw that. He got a piece of it, and the power behind that shot just caused it to dribble right back in. Souhegan's got to stop the bleeding here quickly.
Very quickly. So it's starting to get out of line. It's been a lopsided second quarter. Souhegan gets the face-off win they were looking for, though, there.
No help. Oh, did he call timeout?
Yeah, he was trying to get it, and I think they gave it to him.
Yep.
Coach Bertrand, his second charged timeout of this first half.
I think both sides are out of timeouts now.
I think so.
Yeah, I wish we knew how much time was left. They had possession. He was getting squeezed on the sideline there. I couldn't quite tell how dangerous he was of going out of bounds, but they would have had possession, so we might be getting down to the end of the clock here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, we're unfortunately having some scoreboard issues here at the New Hampshire Sportsplex, but the score you see at the bottom of our screen is correct. It is 9-4 in favor of Souhegan in terms of the clock. Well, the officials keep that officially down on the field anyway, so
right.
We'll have to
I would expect
wait and see.
Coach Bertrand to come out with a play here that slows the pace down a little bit. They've got to come away with something here before the half. It's been a long half for them. They haven't scored yet. Yeah, long quarter. My mistake, but yeah.
Again, Souhegan looked good out the gate, a 4-3 lead through one. But Derryfield slowly but surely has started to force turnovers. That ride has been effective. They've gotten better at the X and now capitalizing on the attack as well.
Indeed.
That's led to 6 unanswered goals in the second quarter.
Yeah, we were talking before the game how the games we have seen this year, how they started off very even and then they seem to
the second quarter has
been a killer.
Right. That was the case Tuesday night when we were in Londonderry. BG blew that game open in the second quarter on their way to a 19-11 win. All right, Souhegan taking their time.
Not a good.
No. A little two-man game here with Crow.
Trying to.
Yeah. Good defense, though. Crow and Holland, nothing available. Now Crow goes back to Holland. Holland in the corner.
I think Coach
wants
Bertrand
a one-on-one
wants,
with Little.
Yeah, he wants the ball in
Holland's stick, right?
Holland's stick or Lawthorne.
Here's the cutter.
Yep.
And again, Snyder says no way. Boy, the goaltender's been excellent here in this second quarter.
Another one.
Flag comes. Holland coming back near its side and pump the brakes. This will be the first penalty against Derryfield. We saw one earlier in the second quarter, the only penalty against Souhegan earlier. Meanwhile, this shot goes wide by Lawhorn. And finally, we get the penalty here late in the second quarter.
Yeah, Souhegan had a chance for a daily double there because this is, I believe it's going to be a slash on 24, perhaps, from Derryfield.
That's who's in the box. That's Andrew Wold, one of the starting defenders. So one penalty apiece here. First time on the EMO for Souhegan. It's going to be big for the Sabres, trying to stop the bleeding, trailing 9-4. They have not scored since the final minute of the first quarter.
No.
Quick shot, tough angle. Knocked out, and then it'll stay with Souhegan.
Not a lot of body movement on this EMO play.
Good hustle by Garrett to give Souhegan a second chance, but you're right, kind of stagnant right now. They're going to
There's some movement.
Look for a screen, keeping it far side. That's Whedon. Down to 20 seconds on the EMO near side.
Yep, there it is.
They create the one-on-one, and
there it is.
There's the finish. It's Garant, his second.
Yeah, you've got to move bodies on extra man offenses. You cannot play static in almost like a zone when you're man up like that. And Souhegan pulled the offense far enough away that it left the backside attackman open in the entire box of Derryfield's defense went with Lawhorn, and that was a good play.
9-5 is now the Derryfield lead against Souhegan. Able to capitalize late in the extra man opportunity.
Oh, where are we?
Their lone
Here we go.
second quarter goal. Meanwhile, it's Derryfield off the faceoff. And then a long, high pass over the head of the freshman Cabot and turned back over to Souhegan.
Yep. Well, they brought the long pole out on the wing again for the faceoff, and they got the ball. Fritz with a bullet pass. Good play.
Yep. Good job here. He's going to keep it out in front. Lawhorn breathing down his neck. Nice no-look pass. Cabot not quite ready. It's loose in the crease. And picked up again by Lawhorn of Souhegan. Long up the field. Down to 20 seconds in the first half. Souhegan looking for the final shot of the quarter. Down to 5 seconds.
Push.
And, yeah, elbow and flying there.
Yeah, a little Ward.
Yeah, they're going to get Ward. That breaks up the Karpowicz run, gives it back to Derryfield. Pass intercepted at midfield. Holland a final heave. Goes high over the crossbar, and that is going to do it for the first half. A tale of two quarters. Souhegan led after one 4-3. Derryfield able to respond with 6 unanswered to begin the second quarter. Souhegan does get one back there late on the extra man opportunity from Anthony Garant, but Derryfield looking every bit as good as advertised, especially during that 6-0 run they went on. They lead 9-5 at the midway point, Roger.
Yeah, I think the big difference in the middle of that second quarter, Nick, was that Derryfield just played smarter ball. They held the ball where they had to. They pulled the defense out where they had to. They just played a cleaner game, and that's going to. If you can control the ball and you can keep it out of the other team's stick, obviously that's one way of preventing them from scoring, and this is what happened. It wasn't as sloppy as the end of the first quarter, so that certainly helped both teams. But I think Derryfield just they had a little bit better approach there.
All right, coming up at halftime, we'll see if we can get some out-of-town scores for you. We'll recap that first half of action, get you set for the third quarter as well. We're inside here tonight at the New Hampshire Sportsplex. Nick and Astis, Roger Howe. Right back to Bedford in a few moments. Halftime here, 9-5 Derryfield. You are watching Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at FNLNHmedia@gmail.com. That's FNLNHmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Halftime here at the New Hampshire Sportsplex. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. Derryfield with a 9-5 lead over Souhegan with the third quarter looming. Cougars got the party going in the first minute and a half of the game. Ryan Etzo. Is it Etzo or Etzo? Etzo.
Yeah.
Softy. First of three in that first half came with a minute 26 gone by. Souhegan came back with a quick response. Christopher Whedon tied the game at 1, 2 minutes in. Then Chaz Dean, first of three for Derryfield, put the Cougars back in front briefly 2-1. Anthony Garant, 2 goals in that first half for Souhegan, came back to tie it at 2. Dean second, made it 3-2 Derryfield. In the final minute of the first quarter belonged to the Souhegan. Connor Holland, Riley Longhorn, back-to-back gave Souhegan their only lead of that first half at 4-3 after 1. Then Derryfield kicked off a 6-0 run. Etzo, Dean Etzo, Kyle Carpentier, the freshman Chilton Cabot, and then Quinn Silvio made it 9-4. That was Derryfield's largest lead late in the first half. An extra man opportunity came at the right time for Souhegan as Garant got his second just before halftime to make it 9-5. So, Roger, as we get ready for this third quarter, what adjustments, if any, do you see from these two head coaches?
Geez, Bertrand's got to get his guys to hang on to the ball and play smart lacrosse. Take the opportunity.
Too many turnovers for Souhegan?
Too many turnovers, and I found them not being patient towards the end of that second quarter. They were throwing errant passes, trying to force the ball in, and they need to possess the ball. They need to hang on to it and keep it out of Derryfield's cross. Derryfield, they just got to keep going. They like playing a fast brand of lacrosse. They're ISOing up top here to start. Let's see where the slide comes from, but they're just picking up the pace here. Good play.
Their side goes high. Over the head, out of play, but there's Cabot. Closest to it on the weak side. He's done that a few times.
Yeah, and that's a smart play because you dodge to the right-hand side and you pass to where the second slide came from, and that's leaving that inside attackman open.
Spin move jammed up at the cage. Lawhorn able to get to the ground ball for Souhegan.
Look at the pursuit by the ride on Derryfield. 5 players coming over to the ball.
Chasing Longhorn. Longhorn back door.
Got to have it.
Shot there from Crown, broken up.
Push.
New goaltender, by the way, in the game for Derryfield. As we talked about at the top of the show, 3
bad pass.
3 different senior goaltenders in white for Derryfield. This one turned over. Back to the Cougars, and again,
turnover.
Kind of an unforced error as well.
Yep. Oh, he did all that work. He came all the way around the backside of X and came up to pass it, and just came out of his stick pad. Just a bad pass.
Cougars trying to double up things. Double up the Cougars. They lead 9-5. On the move. Shot,
nice
score.
Play.
Etzo. Beautiful move. He's been on the carpet a few times as well, Roger, sacrificing the body to get goal number 4.
And how many times have I seen tonight, and have I said, they're pulling a short stick defender behind with an attackman, and that happened again there. And Derryfield's just eating it up. If you're going to do that, and you're not going to be able to get a defender or a long stick defender back on that person, you've got to bring your defenders down to guard GLE.
Derryfield makes them pay. 10-5 now. And again, the Cougars matching their largest lead from the first half of 5 goals. Cougars have also had a growing advantage at the face-off X, winning now 9 of the 15, including the last 3.
Good play. Okay.
Too early there for Karpenstein. Sabres needed that. They get it.
And they need a good possession here. Keep saying that, but it's so true.
Yeah. Especially as we creep later and later into the game.
Indeed.
All right. Going to try and spread them out here. This is Crown far side. Or not Crown, but Crow.
Right.
There's Karpowicz. Looking for a screen. Going to take it to the back of the cage. Trying to muscle along the near pole. Lost the ball.
I don't know if the rules have changed since I've been out of this, but I see 5 long poles out there for Derryfield.
Yeah, you may be right.
And one's coming off now, number 6. One with the ball and 3 down low. Maybe.
Meanwhile, on the move, Carmen, a bounce pass. Shot, though, jammed up. Tough angle there on that far pole. Goes out of bounds near corner, and will stay with Derryfield. This is Giersch.
Bad pass.
Dean does take it on the block, though, and gets around Whedon.
Nice
Off
pass.
the bounce, shot, and
Beautiful.
a score. Wow.
That was fantastic.
Well, that was. I don't think that the goaltender expected the trigger to be pulled there, as Fritz a little late to react. But here's Dean, just boom. That one going almost like a slider to the outside. It's just a pretty thing to watch.
And that's textbook, because that's the goalie's offside from his strong stick hand. And it's really hard for a goalie to get over there at that point where he tucked it inside the pole. Very, very good shot.
Largest lead now on the board for the Cougars, looking for their 2nd win of the season. Trying to start 2-0, and they'll get another. Oh, I spoke too soon. Still loose. Giersch for a moment. Face-off man himself couldn't scoop it up. Still going. Scrum continues. Screams coming from both sidelines.
Need help here.
Souhegan with it. Pass broken up. A little bit of a collision at midfield, and finally Derryfield going to secure it deep in their own end.
He's got an open attackman here. Kind of a wacky transition there.
Yellow is the call from Coach Hetler on the sideline. Wants to swing it around. You can hear. That's one advantage for us as broadcasters being down at this level. It's a lot easier to pick up on the communications. Again, Derryfield playing.
Look at that.
With a big lead here.
That's
their biggest of the game. The backdoor feed broken up. There was a push.
Yeah. But they did the same play that they ran on that last goal, or the prior goal, except this time they ran it to the left and tried to skip it across to the left side.
We've seen that a few times, haven't we?
Yeah, it's noticeable.
On the move.
Got beat.
Shot, score.
Yeah.
Etzo. He's got that terrific speed in that first step, whether it's to his right or, like we see here, to his left. It's tough to stop either way. And he doesn't really need much of a target either.
No, and I got to tell you, both coaches, I got a little bit of a conversation with both of them today, and they like the old style of your two-way midi. And you can see that the two-way midi process on Souhegan's side is kind of catching up to them because they're getting tired. That was Garant, and I don't think it was Garant. No, that was Holland defending again, and going back and forth like that. And you got a team as fast as Derryfield and as well skilled as Derryfield. He just simply got beat. Up top.
Yeah, not many, even when fresh, have the ability to stay with Etzo, and he's put on quite a show here.
Yeah.
So far, starting to pile up the numbers. Got the game going with the opening goal way back in the first minute and a half of the first quarter. And able to contribute to that big 6-0 run in the second quarter by scoring 2 more. And he scored 2 of Derryfield's 3 in this third quarter. So 5 total for Ryan Etzo. His father's here. You spoke with him off air a moment ago. And as you mentioned, that's a big lacrosse family.
It's a big lacrosse family. Raised the oldest. Michael's the middle child. I had the pleasure of coaching both of those 2 boys. Ryan was a little bit younger. Ryan was a little bit younger. they've been going at it since little boys.
Yep.
And it's paid off.
Sure has. Paid off for Derryfield today, specifically. All right, another face-off win for the Cougars. They've won 11 of the 18 by my count.
Yeah, this is where things start to fall apart a little bit. If you can't keep possession and take the pressure off your defense, slides are going to start coming very, very late and lethargic. And Derryfield's kind of calling it off here right now. They're going a perimeter game.
Well, they're in no rush. And
no.
Again, we're already just about midway through this third quarter, so the clock starting to become a relevant factor moving forward.
They're running a couple of different sets here, which I like. I like seeing this. So Coach Hetler is pulling out the playbook here. They've got a chance to kind of, air it out a little bit and see what they can do with some of their plays, I think.
Dean backpedaling here on the near wing, thought about it. You can hear Coach Hetler.
Yep.
He has not stopped yelling the whole game. That's Alexander Murray on the near side wing. Now this is Dean here up top. Dean Holland, that's been the fun matchup to watch. They're going to bump up against each other here.
There it is. Skip pass.
Skip pass, the low shot, ends up wide. But Murray, to your point, Roger, a pretty good look there off that skip.
Yeah. They've been looking for that. I think Coach Hetler is trying to get them to really see the far side of the field through the box here. Here it comes again.
Pass though.
Down.
Tomahawk chop breaks it up. It's loose. Fritz thought about it.
Should be a body on the ground here.
Left the cage to go get it. Somebody needs to get hit. Fritz ends up with it for Souhegan. Wild pass, yeah. Kind of dangerous. Picked up, though, on the near side, and now Lawhorn going to spin it midfield. Now slow it down for Souhegan. So they escape unscathed there. Now the attack needs to go to work. Down 7, the largest deficit they have faced today as we hit the 5-minute mark, third quarter.
Yeah, let's see what Souhegan can do here. They really need a goal. They need to start feeling this offense out a little bit and make Derryfield's defense work a little bit.
Right.
There we go. Nothing wrong with drawing your defender out and making him apply a few checks. They can take it. But make him work a little bit here.
Lawhorn.
There's the sweep. He beat him. Good slide.
Create room with that left shoulder. The shot from the right hand ends up high in the air. There's a scrum on the far side. Ball still loose, and then it's the Derryfield long pole, the first to it.
They're very fast here.
Good hustle by Will Mancini.
Yeah, good pass. I think Caparelli got his first save on that, Nick.
Yeah, he definitely, I think, got a piece. You're right. Meanwhile, Giersch. Little jab step, going to pull it back out. This is Murray in the corner.
Oh, interference. Oh.
What do we got there, Roger?
He stepped in the crease on the cut through.
Good call by the trail official there to see that.
Yeah, I thought it was interference. He bumped the defender.
Holland. Boy, loves playing that physical brand of lacrosse. Just brought the ward of the defender there at midfield.
Backhand.
Now the backhand is going to work for him.
Saw it coming.
Little delayed shot there as he skipped his way through traffic, so to speak, and a good finish. Holland, one of the bright spots for Souhegan today. Brings the Cougar lead back down to 6 at 12-6.
Nick, do you know if Holland's a captain on this team?
I'm not sure.
I think he and Lawhorn.
He's played like one today.
Well, that's exactly what I was about to say. You need a captain to step up and just body somebody sometimes. That was all him from the time he crossed the timeline.
Right.
And, he didn't have the greatest angle. He walked through the crease and did a backhand. And that's just putting the team on your shoulders there for that one play. Good for him.
Holland had his first quarter goal. They tied the game at 3, and then made some pretty good plays. A spectacular highlight over the shoulder goal came back in the first half, and this one pretty impressive as well. But more importantly, Souhegan needed someone to step up and make a play, and Holland, the man to fill that role. However, the ensuing faceoff goes to Derryfield, their 12th win at the X so
Wide
far
open.
today. Quick shot, Murray.
I think that went off the defender.
Yeah, and out of play. There was not a Cougar behind the cage, so it's back over to Souhegan.
Now we'll get the other senior midfielder. See what he can do.
Lawhorn. Full head of steam, comes middle, and now going to pump the brakes a bit as we head towards the 3-minute mark, third quarter. Well, Souhegan closed down the first quarter on a high note. 2 goals in the last minute and a half or so. Trying to do, I think, same type of thing here late in this third quarter. Grab the momentum and try and cut into this Derryfield lead. Whedon.
Good bump.
Lost it. He's got Dean all over him, right on his hip there in the far corner.
Yeah, Dean's been a stud tonight on both sides of the field.
He has. 4 goals on the attack and a number of defensive plays as well. 2.5 to go, third quarter. Lawhorn.
Ooh.
Knocked down on his way to the right, and then a flag flies. Meanwhile, Karpowicz.
Oh, you don't do
trying
that.
to swim through 2 defenders, lost it. And that will bring the whistle with 2:20 to go, but it looks like the second Cougar penalty is on the way against Derryfield.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm sure Coach Bertrand is going to tell Karpowicz is, when you have a flag down and you need that possession and you got a chance for 2 goals back-to-back here, if this is going to be a personal foul, it'll stick. Try to retain possession, pull it out. Don't force it through the middle like that. Pull it outside, regroup, get a good possession because you know it's a freebie. Go from there. Let's see what they can do on EMO.
Souhegan capitalized on their only EMO opportunity, or extra man opportunity of the game so far that came back in the second quarter, just before halftime, in fact.
Oh.
Quick shot. Holland lights the lamp.
Wow.
On the follow-through, got a piece of the defender's mask as well. Goes top shelf. And Souhegan has scored now back-to-back goals.
Yeah, you don't often see that. I wouldn't say the purpose, but the goal on an extra man offense is to try and work the ball around and get the odd matchup, a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, usually a 2-on-1 on the corners. And in this case, it was almost like he was dodging. He didn't quite even get ahead of steam, but he stepped in and let one rip.
Holland's third. And the second EMO goal by Souhegan as they've capitalized twice now. So 12-7.
Good pickup.
And then a win at the X is what they needed.
Perfect.
Just their second of this third quarter. Final 2 minutes. And again, Souhegan trying to build momentum here. Still trailing 12-7.
It's good to find how the fourth quarter starts and ends as well. See what they can do here and make it 3.
Holland a one-on-one. The defender is ready for the matchup.
Good poise there by the defender.
Yeah, that's Quinn Silvio.
Okay, don't force it.
Back for Lawhorn.
Oh, on the head. On the head. And a
Took
save.
a little bit of a blow, yep, and then the shot deflected out of bounds far corner, but again a flag flies here on the near side wing with 1:17 to go. In this third quarter, it's going to go against Derryfield. It's against Will Mancini, the senior defender. Mancini upset with himself as he walks
there was a
into the penalty box.
Little stutter step there on the dodge, and Mancini just he lunged a little bit forward to try and get a poke check in there, and just that momentary stop, his stick grazed the helmet.
He's having a word with starting goaltender
Again.
Jackson Snyder. Quick
Again.
shot, score.
Again.
It's Holland.
Holland.
Been in a zone here over the last several minutes. 3 of his 4 goals have come in the last 2 minutes, and now Souhegan, after trailing by 7, only down 4 here at 12-8.
It's almost like the defender on Derryfield saw him wind up and thought to himself, well, he's not going to shoot that again. And Holland looked away just for a split second and then stepped one more, and that was it.
Meanwhile, these penalties can't be sitting too well with Coach Hetler.
No, I see sprints.
Yeah, if they're lucky. Meanwhile, 12-8 with a minute 14, another whistle on the field.
Yeah, I think
they're going to take the stick from Holland. Right? They just took a stick away from Holland. The officials.
You don't see this very often anymore, but
they're going to do a quick check right here in the middle of the game, right?
And if it doesn't turn out that the call by Coach Hetler is an illegal stick, they're going to be man down again.
So Coach Hetler he is taking a risk here.
Mm-hmm.
But he's calling out the equipment. Again, a rare call.
But Holland has been cranking right in front of the bench, so you
got to look at it.
Keen eye.
Yeah.
We'll see what it is. All right, it did not go. So
Souhegan vindicated. And the gamble does not pay off for Coach Hetler.
Yeah,
although there's nobody in the box.
Nobody in the box, so maybe there's been a rule change since this old guy read the rule book.
Well,
have to check that
especially if there's no consequence, might as well get the officials' attention. Meanwhile, I got a hold here against Derryfield.
Yeah, it's not like the girls' game where no matter when the goal is scored, they always check the stick, right?
Right, right. Great point. All right, that was actually against Souhegan's Brady Melvin. So back for Dean. Souhegan playing with a bit of momentum here in the final minute of the third quarter. Going to be asked to come up with a stop here. Derryfield trying to turn that whole narrative on its head and build up a 5-goal lead before the fourth quarter. 12-8. It's been a good one. Cougars have led most of the way, including by as many as 7. It's Dean trying to work on Melvin, comes near side.
Almost.
Final 20 seconds. Cabot. Etzo. Lawhorn on him, drops it up top. Down to 10 seconds.
Watch the corners. Watch the corners.
Dean near side wing. Silvio. Bouncing shot goes high. And that'll do it. Third quarter in the books. Derryfield extended their lead to as big as 7. Penalties hurt the Cougars, though, late in the period. Souhegan trims the gap to just 4 at 12-8. Fourth quarter coming. Can the Derryfield Cougars hold off the Souhegan Sabres? We find out next. You're watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Something get unplugged now.
Come.
Start of the fourth quarter. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Derryfield looking for their second win of the season. They're out in front 12-8 after 3 quarters, but Souhegan showing a willingness to fight. Trailed by as many as 7. They scored the last 3 goals of the third quarter and are within shouting distance here. However, face-off win goes to Derryfield's Kyle Carpentier. He's won more often than not tonight. He's won 13 of the 21 by my count. Both teams coming in at 1-0 here at the end of opening week. Rain and some snow outside forced us indoors here to the New Hampshire Sportsplex in Bedford. Derryfield trailed Souhegan 4-3 after one, but on the strength of 6 unanswered in the second quarter, built up a big 9-5 halftime lead. They extended that to 12-5 at one point about midway through the third quarter, but back-to-back goals on the extra man opportunity for Souhegan. And frankly, 3 straight by Connor Holland has brought Souhegan back within 4 here at 12-8. First minute gone by, fourth quarter. Here's Dean.
Look at the skip pass, skip
He's
pack.
scored
there it
4
is.
times tonight. Cabot up top is going to get that one to go. Looked like it was knocked down initially by the goaltender Nathan Fritz, but that one ends up in the cage. Cabot, with his second goal, the freshman, ends a streak of 3 unanswered by the Sabres and puts Derryfield back in front by 5, 13-8.
Another skip pass through the box from the low end, goalie's right-hand side, right up to Cabot. He was all alone. Good play by Derryfield again. Movement on Derryfield. Oh.
It's against Souhegan's
Boy,
Zach Barrett. So another win for Derryfield. At the X. All right, Cougars, again in no hurry. This kid's been excellent today. Ryan Itzo, the senior. 5 goals to lead the way for the Cougars. Get some help from Cabot here on the near wing, and now it's going to be swung away.
Yeah, Dean's not out there right now, so they should be putting the long pole on Etzo. Etzo's had a shorty on him the whole game, and he's just been eating it up. And that's only because Dean's been drawing the pole.
Pass
Good
broken
play.
up. Yep. Still loose.
Watch the push.
Somebody went flying.
That'll stay with Derryfield.
Yeah, Murray ended up on the ground there.
Oh, going to get a call here?
I didn't see a flag, but they're saying man up.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a 30.
Yep, 30, you called it. Push. Goes against Will Davidson, junior defenseman. Just the second extra man opportunity for the Cougars today.
Now let's see what they can do on a 30-second penalty here. Their first one, they didn't really move the ball much at all. So Coach Hutler's calling a timeout here. I wonder if he's going to put in something that has a little more motion from the start of the whistle here. You don't have a lot of time with a 30-second penalty, so you've got to make it happen quick.
All right, 13-8 here. Just about 2 minutes gone by. Fourth quarter, Nick Anastas, along with Roger Howe, we're here at the Bedford, the New Hampshire Sportsplex, located in Bedford. And, of course, Roger, you've been down here a time or two in your day, part of the Matt Dillon Summer College Lacrosse League. That's a full-field league that goes on in early June that features 88 teams, players from all over the NCAA landscape. Of course, the New Hampshire Tomahawks, our title sponsor for the New Hampshire Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Lacrosse show. It's a mouthful. Anyway, the Tomahawks, they're down here in the winter. They're down here with skills and drills. Sportsplex, they got their little Laxer thing going on. There's 8 local town youth lax programs that train here. There's adult flag football here to the tune of 280 teams at the adult level, 270 at the youth level. You got co-ed soccer, you got men's soccer, you got basketball courts that are under construction. Of course, it's all under the same ownership of the folks over at the Executive Health Club. And Jimmy Astorita, the executive director, been here about a decade, of course, goes back a long way with you, Roger.
Indeed.
To the formulation of some of the youth programs that are still in existence here in the town. So bottom line, the Sportsplex has been just as big a part of the growth of lacrosse overall in the last decade or so as anybody.
Integral part, even before this inside building here was built. Over in the other complex, the original building, we used to play indoor and do skill drills back in the late 90s and early 2000s. So it's been a pinnacle here.
All right, out of the timeout. Didn't go the way Coach Hetler was hoping. Souhegan ends up with it, and we're back to even strength. Meanwhile, Lawhorn, the future UMass Lowell Riverhawk, full sprint, right to left. Going to try and set something up here for Souhegan. Time starting to become a factor. Down 9 minutes now. 3 minutes into this fourth quarter.
You know, Nick, what an asset when you're man down to have a midi that can take it from the end line and clear it all by himself without having to be pressed on the ride. That was a good play by Holland. Or, excuse me, Lawhorn.
Yeah, Lawhorn, he's played well tonight. Tonight, I guess, officially. Still Souhegan trying to make up a 5-goal deficit.
Flag is down. Not sure where the penalty is here.
It came away from the ball.
Might be a legal pick.
Lawhorn.
Oh, he's got a shot.
To his right.
He's got a shot.
There it is. Back and knocks down a brilliant 22-yarder. Goes upstairs and over the shoulder of the goaltender for another goal. That's just a pretty play there. Lawhorn deciding to make the move by himself.
That's a quality lacrosse play. He had his right hand, I felt, when he first made the dodge and got met by the defender. He got stood up a little bit and then went into his left hand, and he still had the shot and made the best of it. And that was a rocket. That was not a light shot.
No. Well placed as well. Again, just over the shoulder of goaltender Ryan Caparelli, who took over at halftime for starter and co-senior Jackson Snyder.
And Snyder had a game.
He did. Held Souhegan to just 1 goal in that second quarter. Caparelli's been pretty good as well, but they're going to need him to finish this one off in the final 8 minutes. Derryfield, meanwhile, on the attack, looking to run some clock with a 13-9 lead as we move inside of the 8-minute mark now. Good spin move. Yes, Murray jammed up.
Yeah.
Paid the price, too. He got knocked down, and then it's the Sabres to the loose ball.
Yeah.
Timeout, Souhegan. Coach Bertrand.
Yeah, we call that the gate. He came right up against Davidson, the defender, and he put his stick down and he just ran right through it and got the shot on the inside. And I didn't see it. Did Fritz get the save on that?
Yeah, I think he got a piece of the release.
Did he?
I thought. Either way, Fritz has had his ups and downs. His highlights look good at times, including there. And is more often than not held up, so to speak, here. Reminder, programming note, we're on the air Sunday morning. It's the season debut of FNL Lacrosse, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, and we'll be on the air at 9. Roger Sampson of Londonderry will join us. Chris Cameron expected to be in studio, the founder of the Tomahawks, and of course the head coach at BG. Roger, you're welcome to phone in as well. We've got a lot to talk about, not just the week that has gone by, but next week as well. A couple of big broadcasts for us on the horizon. We'll be in Wyndham on Tuesday to see Winnicott and Wyndham. Warriors, Jaguars, that game an afternoon start, 4 o'clock Eastern. We're on the air at 3:45. And then Thursday, we're in Derry for the latest chapter on the boys' side of the BG Pinkerton rivalry. We'll be at the Academy for a 5:30 start. We'll be on the air about 5:15 or so. So FNL Lacrosse, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks, Sunday at 9. Wyndham and Winnicott on Tuesday afternoon, and then BG at Pinkerton on Thursday. It's a big, big week coming up.
That'll
for Friday Night Lights New Hampshire and the NHIAA lacrosse scene. Meanwhile, shot on the run, Lawhorn. Yeah, hit that far pole. It's loose in the corner. Good hustle. It's going to keep it with Souhegan at this end.
Yeah, Thursday night's matchup is going to be very interesting. Pinkerton is 2-0 in the year already. 34 goals they've scored in 2 games.
And some folks are saying they're going to have a down year, but I guess that narrative is on life support after the start the Astros have gotten off to.
Yeah, they put out a neat little preseason video. One of their players or one of their former players did it, and it was just like a collegiate film, and I said to my son Matthew, I said Pinkerton is just as strong as they've been in years past.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
find
doubt.
that hard to believe that they won't be right there with the rest of the contenders when it's all said and done.
Indeed.
Final 7 minutes. Another flag here, Roger. The officials have had to clean this up. Good pass and scores. Cabot's third. The freshman able to take a beautiful pass right there at the goaltender, doorstep of the goal, and beat the goaltender, Nathan Fritz. But let's see again what that flag's about.
I think it's going to be a slash, and it's going to stick. It was a free-hand swing of the stick by one of the, I think it might have been Gallant. He's going to change the call here. He's going to change it to a hold, maybe? No, he's going to, it stayed a slash. No.
Well, Dean's over there on his knee.
Yeah.
In the box for Derryfield.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, because then Derryfield shouldn't have held the ball.
Right. As it stands now, it's 14-9. Cabot, his third goal is second of this fourth quarter. The freshman has got stronger as the game has gone on.
Can only think that there might have been a penalty after the goal on a technical, which explains the flag being thrown. And
that makes sense.
It was after the fact, after the goal. But I think it's only a technical, so might even be procedure.
Either way, Souhegan's been perfect in these extra man opportunities.
They're not going to have much time. It looks like it is a 30 because Dean's going to enter the field.
Here he comes. Souhegan not able to get a shot off. They had been 3 for 3 on the EMO before that.
Oh, nice play.
Backdoor,
nice play.
Whedon, quick shot, good stop. Or did that end up wide? Either way, Souhegan the closest to it, and they'll keep it. Coming up at the midway point, fourth quarter. Derryfield trying to put the clamps on and wrap up their second victory in as many games here to begin the 21 campaign. They've led most of the way. They've led by as many as 7.
Souhegan doing a little Derryfield play here, bringing a shorty. There it is.
Holland, good pass.
That's in.
And then a tough angle shot and score.
I think that's in. Yes.
Finally, they make it official. That's Daniel Kwan, one of the starting attackmen, the senior, with his first goal.
I think Coach Bertrand was looking at Coach Hetler's playbook there. That was something that Derryfield had done quite often during the game here, bringing a shorty behind with a short defender and going through the box, and it worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, both these guys very familiar with one another. As you mentioned, mainstays for a better part of a decade. In each case, they know each other. They're friendly off the field, and as you know, Roger, sometimes if your adversary or the other guy's making something that's working, you might go as well grab it and see if you can make it work for your team, right?
Exactly.
Derryfield, another big face-off win. They've had a consistent edge at the X. They've won 15 of the 24 by my count.
Which I give them a lot of credit for, Nick. Carpentier looks like he might.
He's taken every one of them.
Yeah, and Bartlett, it looks like he has at least 10 or 15 pounds on him. And Carpentier
3 or 4 inches, too.
Yeah, he's a bigger kid. And that's saying something. He's definitely winning the whistle. Nice play.
Pass a little too high, taken off the bounce by Dean, and then a crease violation.
Yep.
He's going to give this back to Souhegan. So Sabres get the stop they want. They're within shouting distance at 14-10, but we're inside of 5 minutes.
I think Lawhorn's got 4 clears on his own this half.
At least, I would say. Yeah, you're right. He's made it look easy.
He has. That's one way to get around the press ride. Hot.
Gonna fire.
There it is.
5-hole.
5-hole.
Wow.
5-hole.
Little bit of a stutter step to free himself up, and then that one just went high to low, it looked like. And between the legs of Caparelli.
Low.
Yeah, that's tough shot there.
Had a screen, used the body. Impressed with the placement.
It's the closest Souhegan has been since the first half.
Yeah, 3 goals.
Lawhorn has scored 2 goals in this fourth quarter. And Derryfield. Well, their league looks a little shakier at 14-11.
Well, there is time, and lacrosse is a game of runs, so they need this. They brought a long pole in on the faceoff here, Nick.
Who did?
Souhegan.
Oh, it paid off, yeah.
Yeah, number 37, Melvin, came up for the faceoff and beat Carpentier there.
First one Melvin has taken, starting defender. It's a big win there. Good adjustment by Coach Bertrand.
Melvin, Swiss Army knife.
4 minutes. That's the big problem for Souhegan. They're running out of time. Holland, along with Lawhorn, have led the attack today for Souhegan. Holland in the corner. Trying to get away from Carpentier. Backdoor feed, jammed up, but recovered by Karpowicz deep on the far wing. Now his skip pass is going to go unattended.
Great
Loose
hustle.
near side, and Whedon, yep. Johnny Hustle able to track it down.
Another Derryfield play here. ISO up top.
3.5 to go. Spin move, Lawhorn
Oh,
weaving his
beautiful.
way through traffic.
Beautiful.
Fires and scores. The Riley Lawhorn show has commenced here in the fourth quarter. Souhegan is within 2 at 14-12.
So here's the only bad thing I'm going to say about Etzo the whole night. He was the slide on that, and he did not take the body. Lawhorn just waltzed by him and got one-on-one with Caparelli. That's what happens sometimes when you play two-way middies. But clearly,
it looked like he went by about 3 people.
He did, yeah.
He looked like he was weaving in and out of traffic in a Rolls Royce. Meanwhile, it was so, and they're going to give it to Derryfield.
Okay, Manny with the
Melvin trying to win back-to-back face-offs. A little too giddy there, maybe.
Yeah, he clamped down on Carpentier's stick. They called him for a hold.
2-goal game. Derryfield trying to play a little keep away as that clock continues to tick, tick, tick down at 3 minutes.
Here we go, ISO again.
Etzo, he's been Derryfield's leading scorer today.
Watch Dean on the far side.
He wants to get a running start here out of the near corner.
It's going to have to be an early slide.
Durant trying to stay with him.
There's
Shakes.
the slide inside.
There's the pass, and there's the score.
Yep. It's that second slide that Souhegan's not executing.
That's Cole Giersch. Senior attackman, his first goal, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the Cougars.
Yeah, the defender he's committed to making that slide when Etzo beats his short stick defender. That second slide's got to be there in the middle when a cut comes through, and that just didn't happen there. Souhegan did everything right on defense until the ultimate pass, and that's tough to teach at this level. Tough to teach.
2:51 to go. Fourth quarter, and a hold. Again goes against Melvin. So 2 big wins at the X for Derryfield. They're in a position now to run more clock. Coming up on 2:30 to go. Etzo one-on-one with Whedon. Behind the net, coming near side. Pass. Taken top of the box by Dean. Had to reach up over his head.
Wow.
Got Holland right on him. At some point, Souhegan's going to bring the fight to them right here on the perimeter.
Good check.
There it is. Yep. Knocked him down. It's
clean
loose.
Clean play.
Cabot, nice play.
Wow.
Able to beat the goaltender, not just for the shot, but for the ground ball as well. And a big fourth quarter for the freshman. 3 of his goals, Roger, have come in this frame.
And you know something? He was just at the right place at the right time. Souhegan did everything right on that play. The slide happened, the body happened, ball went up in the air, and it just came down where Cabot was for him to sneak in on Fritz's right side, or left side, that is. Good for him.
High-scoring affair here in Bedford. Derryfield 16, Souhegan 12. Just over 2 minutes to go in quarter number 4. Again, Derryfield has led most of the way. The only lead for Souhegan came at the tail end of the first quarter, in which they led 4-3. Derryfield responded with 6 unanswered in the second. They led pretty big at halftime. A score of 10-5. Meanwhile, another face-off. Well, it appeared it was going to go Derryfield's way. Instead, Lawhorn. Here comes that speed. Right down the middle. Shot, though, deflected. Caparelli able to get the stick on it. Caparelli with a big stop there for Derryfield.
Lawhorn shot that with his left hand on the bottom of the stick and his right hand loose.
Coming middle. Somersault after the shot. Deflected, and a good hustle by Dean to get to it for Derryfield in the corner. Good effort by Lawhorn. Just couldn't make it work. Now Dean going to get around one defender, beat the second in a sprint to midfield.
Have we seen the subtle second half at all? I don't think we have.
I know. It's been a one-man effort, whether we're talking about the Cougars or the Sabres. Meanwhile, long pass here.
That's going to go back to Derryfield.
Yep, good pressure to force the turnover.
No,
I think it's going to Souhegan, right?
Yeah, I thought he tipped it.
Durant going to put it in play. Holland has to hurry, down to 1:15. Souhegan still down 16-12.
Let him loose. Let him loose.
And he's going to keep going with it. Holland, little no-look flip, is intercepted by the goaltender.
He went to walk the dog and didn't pull it back in. So.
Yeah, tough with that lack of spacing. Caparelli takes over. Outlet, and then the clear. Inside of a minute, and it looks like Derryfield is going to start 2-0.
Good play by Mancini.
Mancini, wild pass into the far corner. Good hustle by Cole Gersh on the weak side to keep it this end.
Yeah, he'll tell his buds at practice over the weekend, hey, did you see that shot I had? Nothing more than a defender likes is to get a shot on the goalie. I'm a defender, I know.
Doesn't even need to be a score, right? Just a shot.
Just a shot.
Yeah.
Just, hey, did you see me on attack?
Meanwhile.
That's a ward. Oh.
Timeout.
Okay. Good
Coach
thing he called it.
Yep, 34 seconds remaining. Coming up after the game, a quick recap. A look, if we can, at some out-of-town scores, and then we'll preview our broadcast schedule moving forward as well. It's all coming up immediately following this one. Derryfield trying to put the finishing touches on this 16-12 lead here with 34 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Hey, I've been surprised by the tenacity of the Sabres. They looked sloppy at times, and they came right back, and they made Derryfield work a little harder than I think they thought they were going to have to in this second half, which is a credit to Coach Bertrand and the coaching staff over there to keep them motivated. And, you know, a player at this level, when he is playing a quality game against a quality team and they can taste that score closing in and the possibility that they're gonna be able to do this. You saw it with Lawhorn, you saw it with Holland. They get to it, and it was good to see this early in the season, especially.
You're right, and sometimes it's easy to just kind of roll over when you've been knocked down, or kind of play out the string and hope to get away without any further damage. Instead, Souhegan kind of taking it as a challenge, digging back in.
Exactly.
And that's the sign of a well-coached and well-spirited group of guys.
Yeah, and I mean, they should, after watching that Londonderry game, it'll be interesting to see how this Souhegan team does against the Lancers. Absolutely two of the top 4 or 5 teams in Division I going at each other. It'll be a good contest.
We'll talk to Roger Sampson, head coach of Londonderry, on Sunday. Meanwhile, this one is just about done as Dean absorbs a check behind the cage. Lawhorn going to play till the final whistle. We know that.
Normally that would have been a flag, but
The official's going to let it go.
Yeah.
Lawhorn's going to fire this one from the length of the field. Has a man ahead.
Hey, there it is.
Shot and score. Is that going to beat the buzzer?
No, we had the ref here on the near side to us looking at the clock, and I think they're going to count that.
It's Aiden Lawrence, by the way. The junior got ahead of everybody and took that pass. First of all, great job just to catch it and then to fire and beat the buzzer. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, so Souhegan ends things on a high note, but Derryfield gets the last laugh as they win this one 16-13. Back in a moment to wrap things up here. You're watching the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at FNLNHmedia@gmail.com. That's FNLNHmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Final score here in Bedford, Derryfield 16, Souhegan 13. As the Cougars improve to 2-0, Souhegan slips to 1-1. To recap this one, Ryan Etzo got the party going. First 2 minutes of the game, scoring the first of 5 goals. He led the way tonight for Derryfield and put the Cougars in front initially 1-0. However, Souhegan would come back to lead the game 4-3 after the first quarter. However, Derryfield built up their advantage in quarter number 2, scoring 6 unanswered. Souhegan got 1 back at the tail end of the second quarter just before halftime on an extra man opportunity, but Cougars led big at the break by a score of 10-5 and then stretched that lead to as wide as 7. Etzo and Chaz Dean combining for 9 goals tonight and combining for 3 to start the second half. However, Souhegan would take advantage of some Cougar penalties towards the end of that third quarter, and Connor Holland ends up reeling off 3 in a row in the final 4 minutes to bring the Sabres to within shouting distance at 12-8 to begin the fourth quarter. But then the freshman Chilton Cabot with 3 goals for Derryfield, including one that ended a Souhegan run of 3 straight. Riley Lawhorn, by the way, scored 3 goals for Souhegan as the Sabres actually outscored the Cougars in that fourth quarter 5-4. But in the end, the last 2 go to Derryfield, with the exception of that buzzer beater there by Aiden Lawrence when it didn't really matter. So 16-13 the final. Derryfield, after wins over Manchester Central and Souhegan, are now 2-0 and are clearly showing folks the reason why they're the favorite in Division II.
Yeah, they were sloppy at times, but for the most part, their game is fast. Their skills are talented, and they know what to do with the ball when things are in transition. when there's a scrum out there. They know that, geez, just because I got the ball on my stick doesn't mean that I can just go to the goal. They pull it out, they regroup, and I'm seeing a group that's not only talented, well-coached, but they're disciplined, and that's hard to find this early. Souhegan, I think that if he can get his horses a little more lacrosse IQ in certain situations when they needed to slow the ball down. They won the ground ball war in the first half, which normally means you're winning the possession game. It would have been maybe a different story, but they'll be a force in Division I, that's for sure. And they got a tough week coming up. They got Exeter twice, and Derryfield's got a big week coming up. They got Goffstown twice, so it should be fun with both of these two teams playing some quality teams in both their divisions next week.
Well, not a whole lot of action statewide tonight. There is a serviceable slate in place for tomorrow, and either way, we'll recap everything on Sunday. Coming up 9 o'clock, the season premiere of the FNLNH Lacrosse Show, presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. We'll have Roger Sampson on. Roger Howe is welcome. Chris Cameron, of course, of the BG and the Tomahawks, be a big part of the show this season. We'll hear, I'm sure, from Coach Hetler and Coach Bertrand as well at some point. But it all gets going this Sunday, 9 o'clock. Next week, we're back on the road. 2 more games of the week coming your way, including the first in Wyndham as Winnicott comes to Wyndham to face the Jaguars. That's an early afternoon start, 4 o'clock Eastern. We're on the air at 3:45, and then a rivalry that just continues to get better and better. It's BG and Pinkerton on the boys' side. We'll be on the air Thursday at 5:15 in advance of that 5:30 start. Want to thank a few folks, including Derryfield Athletic Director / Head Coach Chris Hetler, for keeping us in the loop during this rescheduling process. Bad weather forcing things indoors, and we appreciate the help of the folks here at the New Hampshire Sportsplex. Jimmy Astorita, the executive director. My man, Justin Benton, is the owner, and we appreciate their hospitality for sure. Want to thank John Barron, our head videographer / on-field technician, doing a great job as usual. Behind the scenes producer today, as usual, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. Steve Beals is the executive producer down in Florida. My new partner on the mic is Roger Howe. We appreciate you, Roger.
Thank you, Nick.
And I look forward to working with you personally next week in this season. And, of course, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time. Derryfield 16, Souhegan 13. This has been a presentation of the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.